Okay, students, yesterday we have seen the same thing. We discussed about the URL library. Okay, so what is the use of URL library? Can anyone say? Yesterday we discussed these things. No, URL lib. What is URL lib?
It contains collection of URL functions.
URL functions.
Modules.
URL lib is a module which contains, it is used to connect with the internet. Okay, through HTTP request. Okay, that is the use of URL lib. URL lib is a module used to connect to the internet. Okay, that is the use of URL lib module, and these are the functions we have seen yesterday's. 1 minute. So these are all the functions we have seen in yesterday's class. That is open URL. That function is used to open a URL site. That is open a web link. Okay, and read function. Second thing you can see, the read function is used to read the source code of the website. Okay, and get code is used to get the status of the website. Okay, and headers and info, both the functions are getting the basic. That is, headers is used to get the heading of the web. Heading means not the title. It is getting the data and basic data about the website, and the information, that is info function, you can see at the last. So the information function, the info function is used to get the cache memory and server details, like that we can get using the info function. Okay, at last you can see the get URL function. The get URL is used to get the URL which we are, whether it is redirected or not, in order to see that we can get the URL which page we are currently visiting, or we are seeing that. Okay, so these are all the functions we have used the example program also. I mean, these functions and all we use it in yesterday's program. Okay, and we have seen this example, and we are done our own example programs also. Okay, today we are going to see one important function, that is another one module, that is web browser module. Okay, so the web browser module is used to open a website. In order to open a web link, or if you want to open a website, I mean, to without using the Windows or without using the Explorer, through the Python program, the web browser module enables the programmer to open a website or to open a URL. Okay, so for that we need to import the module, that is import web browser. Okay, and one function is there, open underscore new function. You can see in this, I'm pointing it, open underscore new function. This function only with the function only we can open a new URL. That is, we can open a web page directly from the program itself. Okay, we no need to go to the browser, we no need to type anything. Okay, from the Python itself we can able to open a website through the web browser. Whatever web browser we are having, that it will take. For example, we can open the Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or Firefox. Like this, through the web browser we can open a web page or any web link. Okay, so for that we need to use the web browser module. This module allows the user to open it, to interact directly with the internet. Okay, it will directly open the website itself. Have you understand what is the use of web browser module? Have you all understand? I think some of them, if it is mute, please mute your audio. Yes, Chandru?
இன்னொரு சொல்லுங்க சார். அவரே சொல்லுங்க சார். புரியல.
Hello? Chandru? Yeah, you said something. I didn't understand.
இன்னொரு தடவை சொல்லுங்க.
Yes, I will repeat again.
புரியல.
Okay, I will repeat it again. Web browser module is used to open a web browser, and we can open a website also. Okay, that is the use of web browser module. Okay, so in the web browser module, one function is there. The function name is, you can see the screen, open underscore new. Okay, that is, this function is used to open a URL. Have you understand what is the use of web browser module? Web browser module doing two tasks. First task is, it is opening the web browser, and second thing, it is opening connecting our Python program to open the connected web page, given web page. Okay, two things it is doing. First thing is opening the web browser, and second thing is opening the website or given link. That is the use of web browser module. Have you understood? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, pa. So shall we see in the example program? So this is the 3 code. You can see the 3 lines code, very easy. First thing, import web browser. I already said web browser is a module, no? So we need to import it. Okay. Second thing, my URL. My URL is it's just a variable. You can give whatever name for the variable. Okay. So A, B, or whatever your name, whatever it is. Okay. As per the rule of identifier. So the variable equal to we are getting the input. What input we are getting? The URL. Which URL or which website we want to see. That website we are getting from the user. Okay. By using the input function. So that website will be stored in the variable my URL. Then you can see the third line, web browser. Web browser is a module dot open underscore new. This is the function. The function where it is defined, can anyone say open underscore new function where it is defined? The function is defined at where?
Sir, it is defined in web browser.
Very good. It is defined in the module web browser. Okay. So through the function, we are opening the website. The website is stored in the, the website we are getting from the user that will be stored in the variable my URL. Okay. So we should pass the new, from that you can understand from, open underscore new function. This open new function will get one argument. Okay. That argument must be a what? URL link. Okay. Or the web link or the website link. Okay, that URL we should give as a input, pass as an argument. Then the website will be open, or the given URL link will be get open. Let me see in the Python prompt how it will be opening it. Okay. I'm just already, we have seen yesterday. I'm just opening it. You can see. So here it is not necessary for that. This is I will make it as a command line, multi-line command. This is not needed. Yesterday program, no, this is. Have you understand? Yesterday we have seen these things, the selecting things. We open our website and we get the URL. We read the source code also. We have seen the Google things, Google website, all those things and all. Yesterday we discussed. And today's program, this one. You can see the first 3 line. So import web browser. Please see the selecting one. Okay. Import web browser. So web browser module I imported, and I'm getting a variable. I'm using a variable A. Okay. Whatever variable we can use. So A equal to input. Enter the website you like to see. So which website I want to see. That website I have to given as a input in proper method. That is www.https. Like this we need to give. Okay. I will show the example. Then that input will be received or stored in the variable A. Okay, it is identified as A. Then next line, last line, you can see web browser dot open. That is web browser is a module dot open underscore new. I already said this is a function which is defined inside the web browser module. Okay, then we are passing on argument. What is the argument? The URL is the argument. Okay, have you understood this one? So I'm just saving this. I'm running this program. You can start to see. So it is asking enter the website you like to see. I'm just typing HTTPS www. Okay, let me open the Yahoo site. Yesterday we have seen that one. No, Google. I'm just typing yahoo.com. Let me wait. The program is started to execute. Then it will start. It will open. You can see in the corner. It is opening the Internet Explorer. I'm clicking it. It is opened. Wait, it will open. Internet Explorer. No, so it will be. We have to wait for a minute. Are you seeing that? How to open a website through our program? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'm just closing it. So we mention the website and it will be open automatically. So I think in our computer, the default web browser is Internet Explorer. That's why it's opened via the default web browser. That is Microsoft Edge. It is not Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge. Have you understood this one? This 3-line code by using the web browser module. So from that you can clearly understand, you can come to know the web browser module is used to access our web browser. Through our web browser it will open the website. So we didn't directly type it. See whether I am did I open the web, Chrome or Microsoft Edge, did I type the URL? No. So through the program we can able to open a website. I mean, we can open a web page or anything in the any URL in the internet. So have you understand this concept? Have you thorough? Yes. Okay. Shall we go to the next topic? That is the last topic in our chapter. Okay, that is chapter 4. Okay, so that is last one is random function. Okay, this random function we already discussed in our first chapter, but we will do the recap, and as well as we can see the many new functions also in detailed way. Okay, I will just closing this. I mean, minimizing function is not needed. Okay, here I am directly typing in the Python prompt. Okay, you can see for a random is a module. Okay, random is a module. This module is used to generate the random number. What is the use of random module, sir? If you are asked the question, means a random module is used to generate the random number. Okay, many functions are defined inside the module. Nearby more than 25 functions are defined, but in our syllabus they given just 2 or 3 functions. But apart from that, many functions, some useful functions I found. That's why I'm just presenting in the screen. Okay, at first thing we have seen random function. First one is module name also random. Here function name also what? Random. Okay, so same name. Okay, you can see this. The random function will generate the number between 0 and 1. We already discussed. I hope you can recall it in the initial session. Can you able to recall? At first chapter we discussed this. Can you recall or not? I mean, remembering this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
the random function is used to generate the number from that is above 0, that is 0.1 to less than 1. That's why I'm giving greater than 0 and less than 1. So it should be a what? Floating point numbers only. Okay, it is a decimal numbers only it will generate. Which one? The random function. Okay. So I'm just copying this code for executing. I'm using for loop. It is optional only in order to show to you many things. That's why I'm just using the for loop in order to generate it. I'm just running this. You can see this program output. How the random function will generate the output. You can see 0.59 and 0.7, 0.2, 0.1 and 0.2. Likewise, it is generating the numbers randomly. What is the limit? Can you see? Above 0, that is greater than 0, less than 1. Okay, so this is the limitation of this random function. Okay, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and next one we are going to see uniform function. It is a new function. You are going to see that. What is uniform function? The uniform function also will generate the floating point numbers only, but we can set the range. For example, the random function and uniform function, both the functions will generate the decimal numbers. But what is the main difference? Means random function will generate the number greater than 0, less than 1. Okay, but uniform function we can set the define. We should pass the 2 arguments. Okay, the uniform function is used to generate the floating point number between the given 2 numbers. Let me write a comma b also. That a, b and all, it is a argument. Okay, here a and b are argument. That is a lower limit and upper limit. Okay, so you can see the syntax. A dot random dot info uniform of 10 comma 20 means it will generate the number greater than 10 and less than 20, but the number it will generate always should be a floating point. It won't generate the integer number. Have you understand? The uniform function does not generate the integer number. It will generate always what? What type of number it will generate?
Float,
Yeah. Yes.
sir.
Yes. I didn't get it properly.
Float.
Yeah, floating point number. It always generates the float data type, float number only, floating point number only between the given range. That is very important. Okay. Now you understand what is the difference between random function and uniform function. Okay. Let me try this uniform function in our program. 1 minute. I'm just pasting again. I want to print the five input. That's why I'm using the for I in range of 5 in order to show the five outputs. Okay. So I'm running this. You can see this output. You can come to know that. So I given the range 10, 20. Okay. So greater than 10 and less than 20, it always generates what? Floating point number. It doesn't return or generates integer number. Always floating point number only it will generate. Which function? Random function. Sorry, uniform function. Okay. Random function and uniform function, both the function will generate floating number only. But what is the difference? Uniform function, we need to pass two arguments. Okay. One is lower limit and next one is upper limit. Okay, between this, note this word, between the number only it will generate. Both the numbers are exclusive. Okay, it's excluded. It is not. It will not generate the 10 because it is the integer number. No, likewise. Have you understood this one? Have you understood what? Yes. Okay, let me go for the next one. Rand_int function. You can see this rand_int. From that name itself, we can understand int means integer. Rand_int means randomly it will generate the integer number. What's its syntax means lower limit, upper limit. We should mention the lower limit and also upper limit. Okay. But what is the one of the thing means both the uppercase. You can see both the lower limit and upper limits are what? Inclusive. Inclusive means what? Include, that is it will generate. For example, I'm giving 10, 20. Okay. What may be the 10, 15 I'm giving for your understanding. Okay. What are the numbers it will generate? 10,
10,
15
11,
means
12, 13, 14.
Yes, you understood exactly. That is, it will generate both the lower limit number also, upper limit number also it may generate. Okay, that is for suppose I'm giving 5, 10 means 5 also included and 10 also included. Okay, it may generate 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. Okay, so like this the rand_int function will generate. Okay, so let me use this one. I'm just copying this. Okay, directly I'm just printing it. So it is print automatically, the random function will generate and print the numbers. See, I'm just giving what are the input I'm given A and B. A values 5 and 25 I'm just giving. Okay, you have seen the output 6, 5, 22, 19, 15. So it's always generates integer number. Okay, so that is very important one. Okay, let me go to the next one, rand range. So you already know the range function. Range function syntax also same. That is start, stop, step. What is the default start value in the range function? Start value, default start value.
0.
0. What is the default step value?
1.
1. Good. So the stop value we should mention. It is mandatory. Okay. If we didn't pass the start and step value, the default arguments will be taken in the function definition. Okay. You can now able to understand how the functions are defined in the function header or how the built-in functions are defined. Okay. So stop and step default value we know. That means this stop and step are what? It is default value. The 3 arguments are, then you may have the doubt. So first thing is default parameters are then stop is not default parameter. You don't think that. Okay, one rule is there, no, in function. Default parameter should be at last only, no. So the three things are default, but we should pass what? At least one value, stop value. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, let me come to the point. Random dot rand range of 1, 6, 2. Here 1 is a start value, 6 is a stopping value, 2 is step value. The step value we may give, or it is option only. Okay, but then you can see what are the outputs. What may be the output? 1, 6, 2 in this selecting one. What may be the generate? It may be generate. What the statement may generate this number? What are the numbers it may generate?
1.
Yes,
3,
1, 3, 5. Very good. So first number is, it may, what are possible, it will generate only one number. Suppose we are using for loop, that's why it's generating 5 times. Okay, actually what are the probable outcome means, as you said, 1 it may generate because it is in lower limit. Okay, 1 plus 2, 3, definitely 3 it may generate. Okay, 3 plus 2, 5, yes, 5 it may generate. 5 plus 2, 7 is out of range, that's why it won't generate the 5. Okay, so that's why 1, 3 or 5. The 3, anything among the 3 numbers, it may generate any number. Okay. Have you understand this one?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm just here itself, I'm typing rand range 1, 6, 2. I'm passing this value. I'm just saving it. You can see the output. So it generates 3, 1. So we cannot predict it. So we can predict the output only. What are the possible numbers? We cannot exactly predict it because it is random. Randomly it will generate it. So it is generated as our prediction 1, 3, 5. These are all the possible outputs. Okay. So here I'm using for loop, children. Just please note that that's why it is producing 5 times, or else it won't. Okay. If I didn't use the for loop, it is option only. In order to show multiple outputs, I'm using the for loop. Okay. And next one, we are going to see the choice function. Okay. The random dot choice. The choice function is used to produce the number, generates the number from the sequence. Okay. The choice function used to randomly generate the element from the sequence. Sequence means string, list, or tuple, not dictionary. Okay. The 3 things only. String, list, or tuple. From the 3 things, it will randomly generate the value. Okay, from the given elements, from the given object. For example, you can see string str equal to random. I just given random is a string. Okay, list I defined 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, C, D, and tuple I just defined 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A and B. Okay, suppose if I ask you to print, I will just show the example to you directly. So you can see I'm just generating from the string. 1 minute. From the string, if I want to generate string is str, I just given a value. So I ask you to print 5 elements. Okay, randomly. You can see the output also. So from the random, from the word random, you can see I will show the window parallelly. From the word random, R, D, R, M, A. So randomly it generates the any 5 elements because we used the loop. Okay, suppose we didn't use the loop means it will generates only one number. That's you please, one element only. Okay, that you please understand. For example, from the list we can generate. Okay, list name is I just given list. Better I will give list is a constructor. In order to avoid the confusion, I'm just giving a list. Okay. So I'm again running this from list. You can see 1 D B A again 1. So list contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and A B C D. From that it is generating. Okay. From the tuple we can generate it. Tuple name I just given T. So I ask you to generate the 5 numbers from tuple. You can see D 1 A again 1 2. Okay. So from the tuple it can generate. Which function this is? Choice function. Okay. The choice function generates a single value only. Okay. the choice function is used to generate a element from the given object. The object may be a sequence. What are the sequence? String, list, or tuple. These three things only. Have you understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Okay, students, and next we are going to see the choices function. Small difference only between the choice and choices. Okay, but what does the thing means? Choices, we can say we no need to use the for loop. How many numbers, how many elements we want to generate, that we can mention. Okay, here you can see the example. I will read the things. The choices function sequence comma k equal to value. Okay, sequence means I already said what are the sequences. It may be a what? Yes, string,
List tuple.
list or tuple. The sequence may be a string or list or tuple. Okay, then k equal to value age is given. You can note down, I specifically mentioning the variable name k, that is argument name k. Okay, I should not use other than k. I should not give a or b equal to 5, c equal to 5. I should not give. So what type of argument this is? Can you judge it? From the previous chapter, we discussed the function. No, what type of argument this is? K is what type? Yes. Yes, please.
Position arguments.
Not position argument. It is keyword argument. The keyword name. That keyword K is a keyword. No. So the keyword is already defined in the function header. Okay. So that's why we cannot change it. Okay. As you understand, for example, instead of k equal to 2, suppose I am giving a equal to 2 means it will show error. Okay. So that's why this k is what? Keyword argument. It is defined in the function header. Where it is defined in the function means in the first line of the function. Which function? Choices function. So I will come to tell the choices function will generate the n number of, that is, it will generate multiple sequence, multiple elements based on the k value. Okay, so I'm just copying and printing for better understanding. So I no need for loop here because I can give what from the, I'm just using a list. A list is a sequence. K equal to 5 I'm giving. Then you can see from that it will return 5 elements. We can get the 5 elements output. You can see 2, 1, 4 and DL. From the list is generating as a list. Okay, it's generate 5 elements because we asked 5. Okay, suppose k value 2 if I mention means you can see it will generate 2 elements. Randomly it will generate the 2 elements from the list. It may be a list or tuple or string also too. Have you understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then next one is sample function. The sample function and choices function both are doing the same work only, but what is the major difference means the choices function we can use for where? In the small group of data. For example, a list contains 20 elements, sir. If the list contains 30 elements, then we can go for what? Choice function. The sample function is used for a population. From the name itself we can understand. So the sample function we can go for a big data. For example, list contain 100 elements. From that randomly we want to pick the 5 elements. Okay, then we can go for what? Sample function. Okay, so you can see this random dot sample population comma k. That is, I already said the population is what? It may be a sequence. Then different word we are using it. Okay, the population means sequence. Sequence means a list. It may be a tuple or it may be a string. Okay, from that it will generate what? The k element. What is the k? Instead of we can give, you can see the program itself. Print random dot sample of t. T is a tuple. Okay, here I defined in the starting line. Okay, so from the tuple k equal to 2 element sampling. I want to do the 2 samples. Okay, from the tuple. Okay, where we can use the sample function. If you are applying the small group of elements also, it will work. But what is the use for which purpose it's meant means if you are handling with the big data of list means the list or tuple or string, then we can use this. Okay, have you understood what is the use of sample function? Okay,
Sir.
and last function we are going to see shuffle function. Okay, from the name itself we can identify shuffle function. It won't generate, it will shuffle and it will produce all the elements. Okay, for example, you can see list equal to 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and you can see the second line. I think some of them mute your audio means it will be fine. Please mute it. Yeah, you can see the next one, random dot shuffle of list. So it will shuffle the, it will disorder, it will change the order. For example, 1 comma 2 comma 3, it is an order. Okay, whatever that, it may be misordered or disordered, that it will shuffle the list, it will shuffle the sequence. It may be a list or tuple or string also too. Okay, it will shuffle the position of the elements in the given sequence and it will generate all the elements. Okay, for example, a list contain 5 elements means it will produce the 5 elements, it will print the 5 elements, but the order will be in different way. It will shuffle it. Have you understand what is the use of shuffle function in random? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the concepts. Shuffle function, have you understood this one properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So let me go for the example program. 1 minute. I'm just copying this. So shuffle function I'm using, list, A list I'm using. And directly I'm printing it. 1 minute. Print of random dot shuffle of A list. Okay, then this line is not required. Okay, so I'm saving and running it. Oh, none. A list is contain none. Okay, I will print in second line. Okay, understood. That is the shuffle function will shuffle, then we will print it. Okay. Now you can see the output. So first line, A list is a list name. Okay, that list contains what? 1 comma 2 comma 3 up to 5 and A B C D. Okay, then it's not needed. Then you can see the random dot shuffle of A list. Then A list will be shuffled, get shuffled. Okay, then afterwards I'm printing the A list. You can see the A list. It is in different order, not in the original order. Okay, it will shuffle and permanently will make the changes in the list. Okay, that is the concept of shuffle function. Have you understand the shuffle function?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that's all, students. We completed the 4th chapter. Do you have any doubts? So let I will do the short recap. We discussed about the module, how to create a module and how to create a package, and mathematical functions, int function, round off functions,